Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the first of our special attractions. Please welcome the boxers as they make their way to the ring. First joining us to the red corner from Liverpool, please welcome Carl Dilks.
So we're underway here at the LG Arena in Birmingham with the Magnificent Seven. Frank Warren's bumper promotion here in September. What a way to kick off the new season. And we're starting with a decent fight as well. It's a 2008 Olympic gold medalist James DeGale in action against the man who was on your screens then, Carl Dilks. It's an eliminator for the British super middleweight title, currently held by the man sat just a couple of feet away from me, Paul Smith, who you'll hear from in a minute. But at the moment we're focusing on Dilks, who comes to the ring, well, a fair underdog in this fight, but he's spoken well ahead of it. He says DeGale hasn't boxed in anywhere like his class before, and he'll expose him this evening. Well, he's up against it, Dilks, but we'll soon find out whether he can back up his words, because DeGale's looked pretty good so far as a professional. But this is his first real test this evening, and it may tell us a lot more about him.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, joining us to the blue corner, here is the 2008 Olympic gold medalist from London, James "Chunky" DeGale.
Well, he was booed here when he made his debut 18 months ago in Birmingham, but it's a much better reception for James DeGale this evening, and it's little wonder. 7 wins so far as a professional, his first title as well, and he's beginning to look like the real deal, James DeGale. If he does win this evening, he'll be next in line to fight for the British title at 168 pounds. And he says he wants a world title within the next 2 years. Promoter Frank Warren is backing him for big things, but he has to deliver this evening. Things got lively at the press conference on Thursday. Dilks and DeGale swapped insults, and in just a few minutes' time they'll be trading blows in the ring in front of us here. James DeGale enters the ring now. It's a warm reception from this Birmingham crowd. We go to our MC, Jimmy Lennon Jr., for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the LG Arena here at the National Exhibition Centre at Birmingham, England, as we have a big night of boxing coming your way. The Magnificent Seven, and it's all brought to you by Frank Warren in association with FrankWarren.tv, live and exclusive on Sky Box Office. At this time, we present the first of our special attractions. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Dave Roden. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From All Hallows, Richie Davies. From Wellingborough, John Keane. And from Birmingham, Terry O'Connor. Our third man in the ring, our referee in charge from Doncaster, Mr. Howard Foster. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing and eliminator for the British Super Middleweight Championship elimination bout. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with white and green trim. He weighed in at 11 stone, 13 pounds, 8 ounces. His fine record stands at 14 wins, 2 losses, with 5 wins coming by way of knockout. From Liverpool, please welcome Carl Dynamite Dilks. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, really needing no introduction on these shores. Wearing blue trunks with gold trim, he weighed in at 12 stone even. Following his brilliant amateur career, he is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 7 wins, no losses, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2008 Olympic gold medalist from Harlesden, London, introducing the undefeated James Chunky DeGale. Time to present the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Brian Heath and Harry Foxhall, and a referee in charge now to give instructions, Howard Foster.
Okay lads, spoke to you both in the dressing room, you both know I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told, and both of you watch your heads. Good luck to you both, touch gloves.
Well, we're just seconds away from this British super middleweight title eliminator, and what better man to have alongside me to add some colour to this fight than Paul Smith. Good evening, Paul.
Hi Ian, you alright?
Paul Smith, the current British super middleweight champion. Who do you fancy in this one?
DeGale. I've said it from day one, I know Dilks, I've boxed in the same teams as Dilks in the past, and you know, I've seen enough of DeGale to know he's a few levels above him.
That's what DeGale's been saying all week.
I think it's good matchmaking, you know, it's good, very good matchmaking, and Dilks has got a bit of a name from the stuff he's done at light heavy in the prize fighters where he had a bad decision. But you know, even his fight against the Adamu, it was a bad decision, but he should have really capitalised on that. You know, it was a poor Adamu. But you know, it's boxing, and stranger things have happened.
There is only 2 losses. Carl Dilks, he comes to the ring with a 14-2 record. He catches DeGale there with a right hand early on. DeGale will have to be on his guard here. He can't afford to take too many risks. He's occasionally in the past looked a little bit open. He's got plenty of power as well. 5 of his 7 wins have come inside the distance. And against Sam Horton in his last fight, he won well by stoppage. Had his man down a couple of times.
I think one of the worst things that could have happened with Dilks is his last fight. He won by a heavy knockout, and you know, he could make the mistake tonight, which he looks a little bit like so far of looking for it again. You know, and looking for the big right hand what he landed, and you know, DeGale hasn't got a bad chin. He struggles a bit with the weight, so it might play a factor, but you can't see he doesn't want to be looking for it too much anyway.
There's a pound over out of the way in yesterday, James DeGale. It might affect him later on in the fight, but at the moment he's looking good. Dilks backed up there. His legs just stiffen briefly. Now DeGale catches him with a good jab as well.
I think the speed will be the key today, you know, which is shown so far.
DeGale just a couple of thought processes ahead of Dilks at the moment. He's taken control of this first round. Dilks doesn't know where the punches are coming from at the moment. Around a minute left of this first round. Very much DeGale's at the moment. It's a good opening for him, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, good pace, decent pace. You know, it'll be interesting. They're both saying the fight won't last longer than 6 rounds. I don't think it will myself, but if it does, it'll be interesting to see who's got more in the tank, fitness-wise, if it does get past the 6.
Now Dilks' nose is busted now as well. Some blood coming from it. And DeGale really beginning to take charge of this fight.
He's making the most of the southpaw stance as well, DeGale, when he gets inside. He's spinning around the sides, and Carl doesn't seem to know what to do when he gets around the sides of him. See,
good straight shot there from DeGale, and Dilks felt that one as well. His face beginning to redden, Carl Dilks. Just being out-punched here, outspeeded as well, and out-thought by James DeGale.
I think you can see where Dilks has spent most of his career at light heavyweight, can't you, Ian? The way the speed, you know, DeGale's got the speed, where he was fighting at middleweight in the amateurs, and Dilks fighting light heavies mostly.
Dilks is hurt now, backed up against the ropes, and it's all over in the first round. Howard Foster says he's seen enough, and James DeGale takes less than 3 minutes to dismantle Carl Dilks and set himself up for a British title shot. He may be fighting the man sat next to me, Paul Smith. It may be for the vacant belt later on this year. Whichever way though, James DeGale does look ready for British level. Paul.
It was a good performance, you know, again, you know, not to sound like too much of a smart aleck. Like I said before the fight what I thought would happen. I thought what was happening with Dilks, and DeGale had capitalised on it certainly and get him out of there pretty fast. You know, I did say 2 rounds, but he's done it a round earlier. Stoppage may be a touch premature, but you know, it was never going to change. I think the pattern of the fight was set out in the first 30 seconds, and DeGale was certainly going to capitalise on any mistakes that Dilks was making, which was a lot of them, and the speed definitely told.
Does that performance tonight worry you at all, Paul, if you were to fight in the future?
No, it doesn't worry me. I'm not going to sit here bad-mouthing him. It's not my style. Nothing I've seen tonight worries me. Nothing I've seen in any of his fights worries me. But that's another issue. We'll see what happens in the future. I believe in Frank Warren and what he wants to do with me. I want bigger and better things. I don't want to be going backwards and fighting James DeGale, and that's what a fight with DeGale would be. Any of the kids ranked below me, I don't really want to know anything about them, because I'm trying to move on. I've had 31 fights now, 30 fights should I say. My next fight's my 31st, and I want a world title. That's all I want from boxing. But if I do happen to fight for the British title and win it outright, then James DeGale could be the one in the way if the other eliminator doesn't take priority.
Well, just watching a replay here of the stoppage, and DeGale looked really, really impressive in that first round. And there wasn't much complaint from Dilks when referee Howard Foster intervened. He'd taken 5 or 6 clean shots without reply. DeGale doing as he wanted on the ropes. And the stoppage was inevitable.
DeGale gets a lot of stoppages like that, and he always will because of his hand speed. He's got really good hand speed, and he throws that many shots that it's a blade. It's not necessarily knockout punching.
2 minutes 54 seconds in round number 1. Our referee in charge, Howard Foster, stops the contest. The fighter in no condition to continue. He is the winner of the British super middleweight.
Every shot he took there on the glove, and he was moving with him as well.
James Chunky DeGale.
So James DeGale records his 8th win here in Birmingham, and he gets the magnificent 7 off to a magnificent start with a first round victory over Carl Dilks in a British super middleweight title eliminator.